All right, Ville Nation, we are back, and we got into things, and here I looked at the calendar, and I realized volleyball starts in like 2 days, and we've done all these interviews with players and staff and recruiting and everything, and then I realized we hadn't talked to the boss yet, and so I sent him a message, and Coach Dan Meskey, and I thought, Coach, would you come on here and talk to the nation and address the crew on what to expect, what's going on? And so, Coach, buddy, this is your time to just address your people on what can we expect, year one, your time. So go ahead.
No, it's I appreciate you making the time and the coverage, of Louisville. We've come so far. We're celebrating the 50th year of Louisville volleyball, and I'm going into my 9th season. I wish I was going into my 10th, so I'd been there for 20%. But it's like, I feel like I just got there. But then I'm like, man, I'm close to a quarter of the seasons we've had. But there was so much history prior. You look at the previous coaches we had with Leonard and Ann Cortez and all the banners that they hung from all these smaller conferences until we got to the ACC, to the Power 5 at the time, Power 4, 4+. I don't know what it is now. But, man, I'm so appreciative of just like the opportunity that we have with Louisville and the voice that we have and the coverage and accessibility we can create. So like I said, we're celebrating the 50th year of volleyball for Louisville, which is great. And with that, we have a pretty fun thing we're trying to do. We're going to play 4 matches in the Yum, which for our fans is going to be like kind of like a left hook out of nowhere because we had so many matches in the Yum last year, if you include the tournament. So a lot less opportunities to see us this year, but we're trying to up the ante. So for 50 years, we're trying to get 50,000 fans in the Yum Center over those 4 matches. So we're going to have to pump some of those up and set some records to do that. But I know Louisville faithful do it. We're so close to these other major cities that I feel like we're creating fans in, like Indianapolis. I'm currently in Cincinnati right now with an NTDP training, and Nashville south of us. Like, I feel like we're creating all these fans where these Yum Center matches are a great opportunity to hit the road. Maybe there's a Buc-ee's on the way, hit up Buc-ee's, come to the Yum Center match and come see us play, be a part of potentially some history here as we try to set some attendance records.
It's just everything. And I didn't realize what I was walking into when I met y'all. Like, my story, like, I haven't had a ton of luck in my life, but meeting you guys the way I did was just so crazy.
We had to be one of the first, man. I feel like I've known you forever. Like, because I was in South Dakota.
Hey, we're not going to talk about that. The deep story about you're not from South Dakota. You just coached in South Dakota.
That's true. That's true. I passed through.
So we're not going to go there. But, yeah, and meeting you, and I actually met the Kentucky crew, which is another crazy story. I'm one of the few people who likes the Kentucky crew and you guys equally.
We're good with it. I'll take anybody, man.
No. Remember, you didn't watch the podcast, bud. we can't be good with it. We got to spice that up.
You were pushing that hard. I did listen to your last episode. It's not going to be me popping off. You're not going to get that from me.
I'm actually having a belt made for the Battle of the Commonwealth, and if nobody in Kentucky can make a traveling trophy, by God, I'm making one.
Oh, I love that.
I'll be at O'Shea's with the parents. We got the podcast. I'm doing the match day live. I'll be there.
I'm here for it. You should have O'Shea sponsor that and buy the belt.
I asked them. They shot me down back in the summer, so I'm coming again. So
that's amazing.
No, but match day live will be there, and we're gonna do it. If the rivalry can't make a traveling trophy, I will. So there's got to be a horse somewhere floating around in that state we can pass around. But no, and so I bet you guys, and then it's crazy. And then I'm like, why doesn't anybody talk about Kentucky being a powerhouse in volleyball? You both are pretty good. So it's worked good. But hey, so I wrote this summer after the flock, like, I had to convince myself that I don't need to ask you guys anymore. Are you going to be good? You're good. Louisville's in the combo.
I don't know if this is coach speak or not. Like, I'm so new to the head coaching thing. I don't know what you say and not say, but I feel like we're a purple blood. Like, you got your blue bloods, which is like, if you're at that school, you feel like you're a blue blood. In basketball, it's like Kansas and, places like that. In football, you got Alabama won all those titles. Those are blue bloods. I feel like we're a purple blood in volleyball, and I want to stay that way because, like, I still want that chip on our shoulder of, like, we're not quite getting the respect yet. But like what you said is a huge compliment of, like, yeah, like, I think we deserve to be in the top 10 to start the season and see how it shakes out. And we've done that year in and year out for so long that, it starts to feel like that should be the expectation, but it never gets easier. Like, it really doesn't. But that's what makes coaching so much fun. Like, every team is such a challenge. Every team has so many different, solutions to the same problems that, will be different year to year. It's the most rewarding job in the world. And I love it. So, for this year's squad, some of the problems or challenges we're facing are probably very similar. We're going to be probably small on the left like we've been in the past. So we're kind of used to that. Might be switching systems potentially from 6-2 to 5-1, but 6-2 got us the national championship. Who knows if that could happen again. We've got two fantastic right sides battling it out. So it's certainly not one of those easy years for me of like, oh, here's the lineup. Just go write it in. Like, I'm going to need a pencil, not a pen for the lineup because we have a lot of competition.
Yeah, but that's what I mean is you have that depth now. And like with Chloe Meester coming in, maybe as highly touted of a recruit, maybe back farther than I do, but that Under Armour All-American with the background and the prestige. I don't do rankings, that, but you know what I mean? Like now you're getting those that you guys didn't get 9 years ago. Now you're getting the talent that you guys didn't get back in the Anna DeBeer days.
And that's not a knock. I mean, you're right. Anna DeBeer, I remember, Danny was here at the time, but Danny cried when Anna DeBeer committed. And Anna had been told no by a lot of Big Ten and perennial powerhouse schools. She was too small and all that. And we were so happy to take her as she was. And, ended up being everything for us. But like when you bring up a player like Chloe Meester, getting a talented player like that, getting the pedigree that she has, but then also still having somebody who's like, she's a small town kid. She's got a chip on her shoulder. Right. It's hard to get all of that. Like sometimes you can start to outkick your coverage and get like ranked recruits that are better ranked, but that doesn't matter to us. Like rankings are fun and we enjoy them, but we care way more about like what your 4-year experience is going to look like. How much better can you get? What are you motivated to do beyond just Louisville? That's way more important. So a player, like you said, Chloe Meester, that has all that pedigree, but then also still is so motivated and, willing to kind of, take the long road that's going to take to do the things we want to do. That's really hard to find.
And you guys have, I catch a lot of crap for waking up in the morning. I'm just, I know I bring most of it on.
Not from me.
No. Oh, come on. You and I have battled. We battle like brothers, though. We make up pretty quick. But I battle, funnily, ironically enough, from being a Pitt homer and a Louisville homer when I go outside. But it's so real. And now I'm passing it on to Nebraska fans when I talk about Danny, like the family and the culture. Like I talk about in recruiting, like everybody will put that in their brochure, but you guys, it's real. And I tell people it wasn't Danny because you guys still have it where I talked with Cece when I interviewed her where yes, Danny allowed that to happen, but she had a role. You all had roles where now I think they're learning that at Nebraska, right? Where that's new.
I haven't been in those offices in 9 years, so I don't know what they're learning there. But I will say,
telling you, I've been there.
I know, but what I will say is like,
what I mean is it's real there. It's real with you guys.
Yeah.
And other programs don't get it. And people are like, shut up about Louisville. I'm like, no, I won't shut up because it doesn't happen this way most places.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, like a big guiding principle for me is like, I want to have a roster full of players I'm excited to coach every day. And like when we're talking about that recruiting, again, Todd Chamberlain, our recruiting coordinator, is so fantastic, but it's like,
yes,
he's getting the top talent in the world lined up to play for Louisville, lined up excited about Louisville, wants to hear about Louisville. And then we get the opportunity to look and go like, who's got a chip on their shoulder? Who wants more? Who sees Louisville as a means to a really big end for them? And it's a cool, stop on their journey, but it's not the destination. There's a lot more volleyball, a lot more challenges to come. And we want to prep and learn through this experience at Louisville. So, being able to do that, and then you drive to work and you're just excited for all the people you're going to see. That's priceless. And it's been nice over the last, however many years, the wins have stacked up in doing that. And it's like cause and effect. It's like which one comes first, because it's easier to do that when you're winning, but you win when you're doing that. So it kind of goes hand in hand.
But you guys, like, you're real about it. Like last year when I could talk to you guys when the first matches against Pitt.
That's when I broke your computer, by the way. Did we do a GoFundMe for you? If people don't know, I broke Darren's computer at one of his first lives at the.
It'll be on display. It'll be on display at First Surf Showcase.
We should put that in our trophy case at Louisville.
I don't want to say anything about money and volleyball to get somebody in trouble. I'm using it. We don't have enough subscribers yet to buy a new one. Maybe, the other sites get that.
Hopefully this video will get there.
I'm using it. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But yeah, and I got highlights that may be brought out when we go match day live in Nebraska. We might have highlights of you knocking over.
God, please tag me in that. I cannot wait to see that if you have video.
That's what Match Day Live's all about, bud. It's live. It's live television. Whatever happens.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. Now we might cut out some of your language that you used when you knocked the computer over, Dan. But
that's an Easter egg if you can get me cussing, because I don't cuss very much.
But no, like what I mean is last year you're one of the few programs I talk about. There's a lot of thin-skinned people out there, including me, but we can't write about them. Hey, when you're 6-24, it's hard to write that you have a great program, right? But when you guys didn't play well against Pitt, you're like, yeah, we got our butts kicked, and you figured it out at the right time, right? But I was able to say, hey, Pitt was better than them. You're like, look at our butts kicked tonight, and they were better than us, but you figured it out. And that's what I always appreciated about you guys is you were real with where you were at.
Yeah.
But you competed and you got better, and you didn't blow smoke when you weren't the best on a night, right? You were real of who you recruited. And that was you guys explained recruiting to me where 9 years ago, right? Hey, there's a lot of programs that don't do that.
Yeah.
They're going after number one when they're number 100. And
well, I mean, we're trying to be the most accessible program that there is. I mean, obviously with the content we put out, like we're trying to bring as many people in the fold as we can because it's so fun. Volleyball is so fun. And I love what we do. The culture that you talked about, like people are drawn to that. And it's like volleyball is right on the cusp of kind of breaking through. And I don't know exactly what it'll take to get it mainstream where I open my ESPN app and I've got some updates about volleyball. I think that day's coming. In Louisville, we're trying to do our part. We're trying to be as accessible as we can, as visible as we can, as transparent as we can. Because at the end of the day, I do feel like, it's like we're all cooking a steak. And it's like you could take the recipe and the seasoning and have it down to a T. But like if you're not the chef, like it's going to be different, no matter what you try and follow. So that's why I've never been shied away from sharing about our program or giving insight. I just feel like it's authentic to us, and it'd be hard to recreate it if it wasn't authentic to the, somebody who's trying to steal a great idea or kind of repurpose it, make it their own. So we're really happy with the way it's gone for us. We got a fun roster this year. But
yeah, and I love though that you haven't been afraid to do that. And that's like I said, I was there in the spring, and I swear to God, you told those girls to fake their enthusiasm because you're like, this guy will go and report it if you're dead. And I'm like, the first day, I'm like, that was fake. Like, there's no way they could have had that much fun at the end of spring ball. And then I came back the next day and they were better. And I'm like, this is crazy. Because I texted Skinner and I was up the road. I was up that whatever highway. Yeah.
Was that after we played them, or that was before we played them?
It was before. And that's when I said,
going to win that match, Darren.
If there was a money line on this, I know where I'm putting my money. Because when Cam broke him down and said, kick rear end, the other school didn't do that.
Yeah.
right? And I'm like, I know
I
where.
forgot Cam said that. That's pretty spot
And I'm
on.
like, that was
I love that.
genuine. Like
Yeah.
it meant something because that's how Cam is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is Louisville cut her open, right? Despite she doesn't care because, and then I interviewed Cam and she's like, I know if I don't bring that every single day, there's no way I'm not playing. Like she gets it. And I'm like, that again, I'm like, this isn't a team. That's not a player that was on a team that was in the national title game and she just knows she's next person up. That's a kid that is hungry and has been explained what it takes to play.
Yeah.
And she shows up every single day. And I've been in other gyms that it's not like that, Dan.
Yeah, that word hungry is great. I like that. I'll probably use that too because she is. And, she kind of won that libero spot in the spring for us. And then, there was another portal window and she scared off recruits. We were like, maybe we should look at a bro here or there. Who knows? And nobody wanted any part of us because of how great Cam was in the spring. And she's got to continue to earn it. I think our bro spot, we knew Elena was leaving. So we weren't just going to rely on one player. I think our bro position is really, really deep. Molly Urban gave her a run for her money, who hasn't seen a ton of court time to this point. Hannah Kenny's, a new recruit for us that did a good job. We looked at other players. We played Ava Utterback at bro for a set against Indiana. I mean, we were like all hands on deck to figure out this, Elena left business. To beat out all those, competitors in the spring, I think was a big feather in her cap. But what a stud. I'm excited for her and, a whole bunch of other players that are going to get new opportunities this year.
So talk about how your communication, because that's huge in your program. And I know it's another buzzword every coach uses, but you guys do it top to bottom. And now, by the way, what's little Ricky, who we brought back from North Carolina. He's just
Ricky. Oh my God, Parker. He does not look like a Ricky.
North Carolina. I just
can't wait to tell him that.
I called him a lot of names when he helped out on the PPV coaches poll. He was late.
That's amazing.
And he texted me at 4 a.m. for crying out loud. That you better tell him that's not okay.
I remember being in my early 20s, but
yeah.
From the communication standpoint, it's like, I feel like it's so simple that it's difficult in the fact that like everything's actionable, everything's positive. And it's not positive in the fact of like, like block everything out like it's not there. It's just we're always looking in the positive direction of, what if this turns into this in a positive way. So I think the language amongst the coaches is kind of contagious to the players. And then our new players that come in, even some of our veteran players, especially when they had some time off, you have to correct them on language and the things we say in the gym as far as like, we don't apologize. We don't say sorry. We don't talk about things we're not trying to do. We talk about things we're trying to make happen, that we're manifesting. And, all those little things, it happens small before it happens big, and they all matter.
God, and you're not lying. You're not lying to me because I walk out. I am a grumpy old sucker, and I walk out of your gym after a couple of days, and I'm like skipping around. Like
ready to take on the world. Let's go, Darren.
Yeah, it only lasts me till the end of the interstate, and then I'm grumpy again. But I need to be around. I'm telling you that's
very real.
I feel. But how do you communicate that? Because you guys you have star players. You've had them, and other places have star players, and they don't act like that. So what's different?
Yeah. Well, I get asked in recruiting all the time of like, tell me about your culture. Is it a family? And it's like, it's not a family. It's a championship level team. You know what I mean? And like, we care so deeply about each other, but it's still a championship level team. And, I've been thinking about this a lot with my 10-year-old son. It's like, he can't hit the portal and I can't cut him. That's family. It's like he's said and done some things that I'm like, man, it would be time to move on, and that's what family is. And it's just, I think when you don't set that unrealistic expectation of like, yeah, it might feel like a family for like a handful of the players because of like what your relationship's like with them. Sure. But for the whole team, it's a championship level experience and team. So I think that's the biggest thing. And it's not the worst thing in the world to admit that, like, and say like, no, it's not totally like a family. Everybody's family is so unique, that's so different for everybody. I'm not going to steal that buzzword and apply it to this group that, what do our girls know about our new freshmen? Like they know a little bit about them, but they don't like intimately know them yet. It's going to take years to do that. So I think that's a little bit of kind of how we shape it that makes us unique, because I think people would think, oh, your culture's so great. It's such a family there. It's such a warm and fuzzy. And it's like, it's fun and it's exciting and it's fun to be around, but it's still a championship level experience. I mean, that's what we're striving for.
Well, I've said this on a couple interviews and told people, but Peyton Peterson, like, from the mouth of babes, right, where they just speak truth, and Peyton says, I'm glad I got time to make my decision because I know I picked the right school. She said, us players, we hang out with the coaches even when we don't have to.
That's a big compliment. And that's very true. We're very blessed. You've seen our conference room.
Yeah.
I don't know. You've been to a lot of other programs. It's hard to, first of all, a lot of people don't have that conference room. I mean, it's bigger than this hotel room that I'm in.
Yeah.
But then to have it be a place where it's like people want to be and they know they can come up to the office and it's not going to be, oh, hey, I'm glad you're here. I want to show you these 5 swings and what I would have done different. It's like, no, you can just, when you come up on your own, you can certainly just kind of make that your own experience. We're not going to hijack that into some transactional thing about your experience here. So yeah, that's a huge compliment from Peyton. So, I mean, that's why I'm excited for the fall is I don't get to see them as much in the summer because they're not in classes. So in the fall, I mean, they're in the conference room constantly. Like we have to leave the conference room and like close the door in my office if we want to get actual real work done, which happens every once in a while, but not as often as you think.
I was walking around there trying to get at different times. Is up there a couple different times. I'm going to miss not being in the Ville 6 times this volleyball season.
What are you coming in for?
Well, the Commonwealth, the Battle of the Commonwealth.
I'm hoping we get 15 or 20,000 there. So if we're going to hit that 50,000, we're going to have to blow that match up. So we have some time to do it. But Kentucky, they always schedule tough. We've got some tough matches before that. If we can take care of business moving into that, that should be like if you live within 100 miles of there, you need to come and drive and watch that match. Yeah,
I'm not going to get into the attendance from the other side, but I'm also going to see you at the ACC SEC Challenge in Fort Worth.
Yeah, the neutral match in Texas against Texas, right? Yeah.
Well, Fort Worth, they got to drive 80 miles.
Yeah, there's no Texas fans in Fort Worth. I hope there's a bunch of fans at that one too, though. It's like if we're going to go at a quote-unquote neutral, I wish it was just at their place and we did a home and home because then it would be like the full experience.
Listen, I'm on them a little bit too. They don't – big talkers right now. Listen, the Ville Nation has about 5 times as many subscribers as Hook 'em Horns.
Let's go.
I'm not happy.
Right, let's keep giving them great content. I'm here for people that want to follow.
Not happy at all. Right now, kind of like Jerry Jones. Big talkers, not a lot of action right now. I'm not happy with Hook, and I'll tell them, Hook 'em Horns, not happy with.
I feel like Texas has a lot of fans that will like if they're an A&M fan, they'll go to that match to root against Texas. I feel like Texas is so that way. Like maybe we can bring some new fans in the fold. Like anybody who's just like wants to see volleyball and just wants to hop on for the day with Louisville, we'll take them. If you live in Texas, you want to cheer for Louisville, come to Fort Worth. We'll give you a good show.
Now that will be the matchup of my 2, like, I know, I don't know anything about, like, by God, I don't know anything about setters for crying out loud. Like, I don't know anything about liberos, but it's like, hey, I can tease my brother, but if you do, them are fighting words. So my 2 setters, you better never make fun of, Ella and Nene.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah.
Those
one
are
of them's going down, man.
Well, hey, I get that. That's hard enough, but I don't go on the site for a reason. And when people make fun of either of those 2, then I get steaming. I'll be like that. I'll be like that bull with snot coming out of my nose for that one. But that'll be a fun night of volleyball there. I don't know how much that place holds.
I don't know.
But all right, expectations. I mean, so with this team and the way you guys start, because you had the best non-conference schedule in the country last year. So what do pieces, like everybody kind of has, but what is it for you? And you're great about not giving us BS coach speak. So what is it?
I don't know how to give BS coach speak.
Yeah, and that's why I love it.
Last year we had Anna DeBeer, Charity Looper, and Elena Scott returning. So those are our 3 passers passing every rotation, and our 2 probably attack leaders. This year they're all gone, obviously. So the schedule is a hair different. Last year really similar to the ACC SEC Challenge got thrown to us with Texas last year. That was the Wisconsin week 0, which became a big hot button issue this coming year. Yeah. So we added Wisconsin after we already thought, hey, this is going to be as tough a schedule as we could probably find. And then boom, Wisconsin gets added to it. So what was so unique about last year was we got swept like 3 times and we lost 6 matches. So it's like we didn't just steamroll the schedule. We had to grind through it. And I think in a certain way, the schedule for this year reflects that too, where, we open up at L&N Arena, which was really important to me as a new coach. L&N Arena is my favorite arena I never got the honor to play there, but I got to coach a bunch of matches there and I just love it. I think no one can come to that arena and not walk away loving their experience and probably becoming a volleyball fan. It's awesome. So I really wanted to open up there. And so we're playing Auburn, and then we have an in-state with Morehead State and St. John's, a potential RPI darling. So it's very different than our opener with Wisconsin. And then I think after that we had Tennessee, or I don't remember what we had 2 years ago, but it's a 3-game home match at L&N. We opened up at Yum 2 years ago. So that part's different. Then we get our Yum Center match against Illinois. And we've got some really unique matches for TV. Our big thing this year was like, if TV wants to flex so that we can get on TV, we were good with that. So I think at least like half of our matches have been picked up by major networks. So we've got like Western Kentucky on a Monday, our Kentucky game's on a Thursday. So we're kind of like, I feel like, I haven't even said this anywhere before this, but it just came to me. It's kind of like the any place, anywhere, anytime. That's kind of our schedule this year. If we had to move a match a day and we had a less of a rest day, if it was on TV and it would expose the world to Louisville volleyball, we're in anytime, any place, anywhere. And so that's kind of, it's kind of how the schedule looks. So we always end with Kentucky, which we'll do 4th weekend. And we'll see what we're made of going to the ACC. I mean, the ACC is not what it was 2-3 years ago when you add, Stanford and Georgia Tech's, on the rise, and, Miami's got a great roster, and UNC was great last year, and Duke got a bunch of great players in. Like, it's going to be a grind. And Pitt, obviously, it's always such a big one. So, it's a great schedule. I'm excited for. So,
hey, on the campus, there's a little bit of energy now with the head coaches. I mean, can you match him for energy there?
You talking about Pat Kelsey, our hoops coach? Yeah. Absolutely not. So I had to do a panel with him. I got hired February, and in March, like 1st, I had to do a panel, and I was sitting next to Pat Kelsey, and I was just like they would give me the mic and I would just give it back to him. And he's fantastic. So, but what the biggest thing I've probably learned from him is, I think I'm really enthusiastic.
Yeah.
I am really excited about everything, but man, I mean, that guy takes it to a 10. It's like he is so appreciative of being at Louisville and being able to serve, the team and the athletic department. So he's a great resource. I've learned a ton from him. And he's reignited. I mean, we're at the end of the day, we're a basketball school. Like, hoops has to be good here, and everybody knows that. So, I mean, that's why the Yum Center was built. We're fortunate enough to get in there a bunch of times throughout the year. It's funny, Pat Kelsey, our basketball coach, did our first serve against Nebraska, and he went up and did a jump float, and it was like awesome. And that was like the only thing that went well that day. We got smoked by them in the preseason. So I still remember that. He's like, I'm never coming back. You guys got crushed. So.
Well, when I was there, you want to talk about how things can change. He was out handing out tickets on campus.
Wow. Yeah, he's the
last
man.
year. I mean, you want to talk about.
I'm telling you though, I think there's not a lack of that, but there's an opportunity for that in volleyball. Like, I do think, man, there's such great coaches out there. But like, for me, it's like me and you have talked about the Instagram thing and social media and all that. And it's like, you know me personally. You don't, you met me in person before. Maybe we connected on, on Zoom or anything like that. Like, that's more of an opportunity to make us more accessible. And that's not like a natural thing for me. It's not like I grew up and all of a sudden I was 38 years old and I was like, I want to post on Instagram nonstop. But I was like, this will separate us. This will serve a purpose. It'll help some people. So I'm going to do it. And I'm going to treat it kind of like a job. And I'm going to make sure I'm consistent with it. So I think there's an opportunity. It doesn't have to be that. But like we talked about with Pat Kelsey, going out on campus, handing out tickets, running different type of specials to get people in the door. It's like, we can't just say like, hey, we're on TV and we're the most participated in sport. Come. Like, we've got to like pound the pavement as coaches, I think.
Are you sure you didn't just watch my podcast?
I listened to that one. But I tell you, the most intriguing part, I don't know, this probably isn't going on your podcast, but if you listen to your last podcast, the last 10 minutes, I've already told multiple people, I was like, you got to listen to Darren the last 10 minutes. I mean, you're going through every coach of like, they got to light up about this or they need to get.
Well,
I don't disagree with that. But again, you nailed it on the head in that too, of like coaches aren't lining up to be that. Like nobody wants to be first, you know?
No, and I meant that was me pushing buttons, I get. But what I said earlier when I said the other sports was Jerry Kill, right? Jerry Kill, Minnesota. Jerry Kill did the same thing Pat Kelsey did. Jerry Kill came out and shook my hand, right, with his wife. And what Jerry Kill did was got a Thursday night game. Now everybody's copied him. Yeah. Jerry Kill did just what you did, anytime, anywhere. Minnesota opened the season, the first Thursday night football game in NCAA, and now everybody does it because it was one game where Minnesota had the spotlight, right? Now, but what I said, and I've told this story to anybody that will listen now, I'm Sioux Falls. I'm not talking about the other game. I have issues with that's going on in Sioux Falls.
I can't wait for your content when the season amps up, man.
Hey, Match Day Live, 4 days in Lincoln. I'm gonna be there.
Let's go.
I've been too nice now that DBK's in Lincoln. I haven't got those fans in a stir. I got to get. This is killing me not being a Husker hater anymore. It's so we got 4 days, but we are throwing I'll be in Lincoln, but I'm throwing a party, parking lot party in Sioux Falls. Big screen TV, like they've only done. It's not Buffalo Wild Wings, but I always say my Buffalo Wild Wings crew. You guys need to get the guys at Buffalo Wild Wings. That's who you need to get.
All right.
Not the 40-year-old volleyball fans that played.
I can get on board with that.
You need to get the guys that football teams stink. That's who you need to get. And because that's how I became a volleyball fan. Now
we'll see if we can get them at the Yum Center. I love the fact that we're sold out with LNN. One of my big things this year for Ville Nation here, for this being more specific to our fans, is if you get a ticket and you don't show up, I'll probably be calling because I can tell every seat that's not filled at LNN because there's only 900 of them. And it's like, you can't have 4 tickets and no show. You a season ticket holder and you don't show up, you're going to be hearing from me. And that's strike 1. And there isn't a strike 2. So, because again, it's like, I mean, it's such a hot ticket. And the thing that bugs me to no end is I'll go on StubHub and look at our tickets and be like, no one should pay that. Like there are some people that are trying to get rid of some season tickets. They got 15 home matches. It's like, you're not going to make all 15. Some do. But that's my big thing is we better have every butt in a seat at LNN Arena this year. That's my challenge.
You know the one I want.
At LNN?
You know the one I couldn't get.
The big ones this year, which again, the Yum Center would be a better spectacle for some of those matches, but we haven't played Pitt. We haven't played Pitt at LNN in years. We haven't played. I think Georgia Tech is back there. We just have a lot of big home matches. I think Stanford, did that get moved to the Yum? You're putting me on the spot. Stanford might be at LNN too.
Oh man, no! I want the floor seat at the Yum for the Kentucky match. That's
by Jack Harlow.
I don't even.
That's a bit famous.
No, that's story. We're good. No, but everywhere I go for a rivalry match, if I'm bringing a trophy, and if they won't make their own, I'm just going to start giving trophies away.
If you bring a trophy, I will work on that floor seat. I will. I can't totally commit because we're recording, but I am going to work my darndest. If you have a belt that goes to the winner,
and we're going to sell out that.
Make that happen.
I don't remember the guy's name, but he's awesome, and he always had the parties upstairs at O'Shea's last year. Because that's where
I didn't go to those. I don't know who
that's where I always ate with Danny's parents and Lane, and there was a bunch of people up there, but we're going to get that. So I'm going to get O'Shea's rocking both levels.
Game on.
Kentucky and Louisville fans, we're going to get it going. And if I'm known for one thing of the sport, whenever my time's done, it's going to be rivalries.
I love that. I'm here for it, Darren. I appreciate it.
Awesome, buddy. Well, hey, thank you so much for your time, and good luck this week. You want to talk about some great volleyball, bud?
And TDP, yeah. I mean, it's I go right up until we start up. I mean, we're going to be training the 31st when some college teams are starting. So, man, it's all jam packed. But
by the way, I love what you guys did, not messing, giving your kids, give your girls those days they have planned, and not that it matters, but I did hear some nice things from a couple of your
that's good to hear. Let me know. Ask me again in September. We'll see. But I did think, not getting too long-winded on that. It's like to change the date a month or 6 weeks before the date was just so short-sighted. It didn't make a lot of sense. And It was like, again, it put coaches in a lose-lose situation, I thought, where it's like, oh, are we trying hard enough if we don't switch it to the 31st, or we're switching to the 31st, we don't care about student-athlete welfare. And for me, I always lean on the side. I have so much trust in our team, and I know what kind of summer they had. And, I know they're getting stuff done, and I didn't want people canceling flights and missing out on things they've been looking forward to some of them for months, almost a year. They've been looking forward to a few things because they knew they always had that week off. So that bugged me. That was like my first thing as a head coach, where I was like, what do I do? Do I get on a committee? Do I get on an email? No, I'm just going to make the best of it with my team. And, I'll talk about it, my opinion of it, but I didn't do anything to try and change once it happened. It's like, that's my thing. It's like, my opinion doesn't matter much on these things, but my adaptability does. And so we adapted, and I feel pretty good about what we're doing.
Awesome. But I'm going to let you go. We went over our 15 minutes.
That always happens with us, right, Darren?
It does. All right. I love you, man. Good luck, everybody. Ville Nation, that's your leader. L's up. Have a great week. Dan Meske, everybody. And Louisville, I think you're in great hands. So we'll see you soon, bud.
Thanks.